Hello and welcome to Daily Reflection with Aneel Aranha. Today is the 7th of October 2019. We're going to reflect on Luke chapter 10, 25 to 37. A little long one, but listen. Just then a lawyer stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he said, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus said to him, "What is written in the law? What do you read there?" And he answered, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." And he said to him, "You have given the right answer. Do this and you will live." But wanting to justify himself, the lawyer asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus replied, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell into the hands of robbers, who stripped him, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. Now by chance a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. So likewise a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, while traveling, came near him, and when he saw him, he was moved with pity. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, having poured oil and wine on them. Then he put him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said, 'Take care of him, and when I come back, I will repay you whatever more you spend.' Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers?" The lawyer said, "The one who showed him mercy." And Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise." The gospel of the Lord. This is the parable of the Good Samaritan. I'm sure you've heard it dozens, if not hundreds of times, including preachers preaching about it. Now, if you've been following these reflections from the beginning, I am sure you've heard me speak about it a few times too, because we've read it a few times. So you are probably telling yourself now, "Hey, I know this story. It's about doing good to others, and also possibly about not making excuses. What am I going to learn that's new?" I'm going to answer that, but let me first tell you a few things. In the preceding passage, we see the 70 disciples that Jesus had sent out on mission, returning joyful that their mission had succeeded. Jesus immediately glorifies God. "I praise you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth," he says, "because you have hidden these things from the wise and learned and revealed them to little children. Yes, Father, for this is what you were pleased to do." I do not believe it is coincidental that this story about the Good Samaritan immediately follows this paean of praise. A lawyer meets Jesus. This is not a lawyer as we understand lawyers, but a man skilled in interpreting the Jewish Torah. Those are the first 5 books of the Old Testament. He is a wise and learned man. Remember what we just said about things being hidden from the wise and learned. And what things are hidden? The knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven. See Matthew 13:11. So this wise and learned man asks Jesus a question. It's a good question. What must I do to inherit eternal life? But the motive in asking it is wrong. He is not asking to find out the answer. He's asking to test Jesus. He wants to see if this lay preacher from Galilee has answers to difficult theological questions that he has spent years studying about. And in Jesus' response, we find that the expert has an intellectual understanding, but not an experiential one. Here's the answer to your question. What am I going to learn that's new? It's good to have an intellectual understanding of our faith. But if there is no experiential understanding, it just remains theory and serves no purpose. So I might be able to talk about love more beautifully than Paul ever did, but if I've never practiced it, these are only words, no? But if I've practiced love, showing kindness to people that God has put in my path, if I care for them, if I protect them, if I help them, if I nurture them, if I nourish them, then I really understand love. But for that, I need the heart of a child, not the mind of an adult. Think about it. God